Hey guys, how's it going? This is Tim Shays, and today's gonna be another fun one. Hope you guys are having a good day, a good weekend, a good Labor Day weekend. Hope you guys are having some rest, relaxing with your friends and families, and let's get on with it. So, gonna be trying out a, I guess somewhat of a new straight razor. I haven't shaved with this on camera before. This is the Beg Cutlery straight razor BEG Bravo Echo Golf Cutlery Company, made in Germany. And the steel is looking a little old. You can see some I don't know, sanding or grinding. That wasn't done by me, so someone else must have done some work to it. You can see some scratch marks over there too. And there's quite a bit of grinding along the spine. That is the reason I had to put on tape. This is 2 layers of tape. Basically, without tape, I wasn't able to, the edge wasn't really touching the stone. It was kind of elevated just a bit because the grind where it wasn't at the top of the spine, but it was towards somewhere in the middle. So by putting on tape, I was able to put on a little bit more increase the angle towards the bevel. I don't know, some jargon, straight razor jargon. Anyways, putting the tape helped get that sharp edge. But we'll test it out today. What would you call it? It cut through the arm hair pretty well. I went through the synthetic progression Shapton synthetic from 1.5K all the way to 12K. So let's see how it goes today. Just got some water over here. Already had my morning coffee, so let's get right at it. On 1 day of growth, very little bit to work with. Gonna wet the face, and let's go over the software and the brush really quick. Almost done with this Stirling tub, Stirling Vanilla Bean Espresso. Getting there. I'll probably be working with the synthetic for the time being when I finish this tub, because I think, or I could just work with the natural hair and just load forever until that runs out. But today I'm going to be working with the Simpson Trafalgar T3 synthetic brush. I used this for a couple of days now, and it's broken in quite well. At first it felt very stiff and a lot of backbone on the face, but nowadays it's feeling a little bit better. Still has a lot of backbone and a little bit of scrub to it, but it's a nice synthetic to work with. All right. Wet the face here and get on lathering. Here we go. Nicely hydrated already. Probably gonna add a little bit more water though. Yeah, when I spray the brush, I feel about medium scrub, maybe a little more than medium. With good bit of backbone. And I won this brush from bbs.live. Go check them out on Instagram. This is the unofficial or official synthetic brush from Mel. Very excited too with this one. And I actually didn't I didn't want to buy this brush because I wanted to win it from bbs.live, and I was able to. And I wasn't a fan of it in the beginning because it felt pretty stiff, but I think continuing to break in, and it feels pretty good now. It does remind me of the crave knot from Creating Shaving, or not the crave knot, what you call it? The Duro knot, yeah. A little more water. I think the Craig knot is a lot softer than this one, but less backbone. Dura knot is a little bit closer to this Simpson, but still softer, less grub, a bit less backbone as well. Alright, just drowning this in water. Paint it. Plenty of lather. So much lather. Give me a second to rinse everything off. Don't want any slippery hands. Alright, let's get on with it. Straight razor, bag cutlery, synthetic progression all the way up to 12K. Let's see how this goes. It's a little dirty, but I did clean it up. I'm gonna keep the tape on it because if this works out, then I'll put a natural finish on it, probably the black Arkansas stone. If not, I'll go back to the synthetics and work on it more. Here we go. First pass with the grain. Excuse me. Plenty of hydrated lather. It does have a square point on it, so to be careful around the ear. Oh, that's nice. And I think it's cutting. We'll see. I hit a little bit of the blemish over there. I've been getting quite a bit of blemishes and ingrown hair or something like that. I think it's testing out all these straight razors and getting mediocre results, and I think those steels, kind of half done steels, are leading to these blemishes. That's my guess, but yeah, I've been getting a lot more blemishes these days. But this edge feels nice. And I've been changing my honing technique and honing process. Sorry. And even without a natural finish on this, it feels like it already has the natural stone finish on it. So what that means is that once I put a natural finish on it, it's going to be even smoother. It's really, really smooth so far. Usually, synthetic progression feels a little sharp and not as comfortable. This is feeling really good today. I don't know why. I think this is the first German razor that I have good success with. I've had almost 100% failure rate with German razors. I don't know why they're coming out like warped and it just will not. They won't take a good edge, but this one seems pretty good so far. Alright, let's continue on. Let me hydrate the face more, and that looks pretty close. Just off the first pass. It's looking pretty good. The edge is feeling buttery smooth, even with just synthetic progression. So I don't know if it's a steel, but when I tested this out for the arm hair test, it felt really smooth to start off. So, oh, and I was gonna give up on this razor actually. Like parts of the blade or parts of the edge wasn't getting sharp, so I was about to put it in the section where I was gonna either sell it off or just not use, but I tried the tape, using tape to kind of change up the bevel angle, and it worked out. All right. It's turning out to be one of my better edges. So I'm satisfied with that. Let's continue on. Cross the grain, second pass. And the pivot is quite stiff right now. I tightened it. I might have tightened it a little too much. And how I tightened it is basically with a ball peen hammer. You can probably look up on YouTube how to tighten straight razor pins. I think GeoFatBoy has a pretty good instructional video in it. I actually use the same hammer that he used in the video. So, pretty easy process. Feeling pretty good against the grain. A little bit of buffing along the jawline. Oh, and the things I changed for in honing this razor, basically I maintained the medium pressure, so not too light, not too heavy, just in the medium strength. A little bit of tugging there. And then I basically went back to listening to the feedback of the stone and watching the undercut. I didn't really watch the undercut of the water, but paying attention to that really helped kind of max out each stone, each synthetic stone. Because when the edge didn't feel sharp to me, I thought the problem was at the bevel setter, the lowest stone, but it turns out I had a lot of work above that. Excuse me. Maxing out the bevel is important, but it's also important to max out all the other levels. So basically for me, at that 5K, 8K, 12K level, I had some more work to do. And focusing on each stone, watching the undercut of the water develop, and then just keep going at the stone until I see the difference in the feedback and the undercut. Yeah, just everything combined really helped out develop this edge. It's feeling pretty good so far. Yeah, so the main three things that I looked out for while I was holding this was pressure, putting a medium pressure, not too light, not too strong. Developing the undercut of the water, making sure the water is displaced cleanly and rolling over the blade. And then, what was the last one? And the feedback of the stone. Sometimes the blade will stick to the stone. I feel like there's a difference between roughness and sticking. In the beginning of each stone, you will feel sometimes a bit rough, where it doesn't go smoothly or cleanly, and then at a certain point, the blade will kind of glide with the stone, and towards the end, especially towards the finer stones, the blade will kind of stick to the stone, where if you keep pushing, you'll even feel more sticking. I found out for myself, I find that at the 5K level, the blade sticks a bit, 8K it sticks a little more, and at the 12K point, it really sticks. And at that point, I just put a little bit more water to put some lubrication on the surface, and then just kind of carefully go through it until the blade really sticks to the stone. And at that point, I stop. And here's where it's at. Alright, very nice. Also, I honed up another razor, the orange scale blackjack razor. And that one's needing a lot of work because I took it to the 12K, or went to the progression, and it wasn't cutting. The feedback was really rough at all, or especially at 12K point. I think that's one way to notice if the edge is done, is that I look for a certain kind of feedback and sensation at the 12K level, at the finishing level. That orange scale razor, it didn't really stick. I mean, I felt a little bit of sticking, but it didn't kind of go to that final sticking sensation. It just kind of kept going, kind of smooth, not really sticking. So I knew something was up, and what I found out was that there was a bunch of chips along the blade that I couldn't really see until I kind of turned it towards the light. So I'm still working at the bevel setter with that razor, trying to get rid of all those chips. I probably worked on it over an hour last night, but it still needs more work to get those chips out of the edge. All right, let's finish it up here. The lather might have dried out a bit. Still cutting pretty well. All right, wow, that's one clean shave. Yeah, I don't see any like stubble sticking out. It's looking pretty uniform. Felt good against the grain. I'm really happy with this edge. I haven't even put a finish on it, or a natural stone finish on it. So I'm happy. Synthetic progression all the way up to 12K. It turned out really well. Yeah, and this German steel is turning out pretty nice. I don't know if it's made from Solingen. It just says made in Germany, but this one, the geometry is pretty good. As long as I put tape on it, I think it's gonna hone up well. So I'm happy with that. Let me rinse up and go to the alum. Yeah, that's a smooth result. Very nice. Here's the result here. A little blemish here and there, but feeling good. Yeah, once I put the black Arkansas finish on it, ooh, it's just gonna glide like butter. I still have to use the cauticule that I purchased recently. Man, honing on that cauticule is pretty nice. The surface is very smooth, but it still has, it gives great feedback, kind of like, all right, I'm feeling a little more feedback here with the alum. I'd say a little more than the usual on the neck, light sting around the mustache and chin. But yeah, that cauticule, man, feels really nice. I tried honing on it once and just has a really clean, just like whoosh, 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 kind of. It's hard to describe it until you try it out. But yeah, almost like a synthetic. I mean, synthetic gives a nice feedback, but natural stones, it just very nice cutting sensation without any roughness, really smooth. But yeah, I'm excited to try out the cauticule, but for now, I'm really just sticking to the black Arkansas because I know that it gives a pretty nice finishing touch to the razor, and I just really want to master it, not master it, but just get a lot of practice on it so that I'm really learn how to use that finishing stone. And once I'm happy with that, I can move on to other stuff. But yeah, I just want to get down a solid progression down all the way from bevel setter to the finishing touch. Yeah, and just kind of have that solid before experimenting with anything else. But yeah, excellent shave today. 1 day of growth, not much to work with, but cut down and cleanly. Some blemishes here and there. I need to stop messing around with a bunch of mediocre edges, but it's just part of the game. All right, Beg Cutlery, straight razor, very nice progression all the way to 12K Shapton, Simpson Trafalgar T3, and soon to be killed Sterling tub. So thank you guys for watching. This is Tim Shaves, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.